Your gateway to digital Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certified For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia. Your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Learning and Development webinar. My name is Pratibha and I'll be your moderator. So if at any point you have any question, you want to know anything about the session, or if you want to know anything about the GSDC, please don't hesitate to use the chat box. We are starting the event, so just allow me a minute to share my screen. Please let us know meanwhile from where you guys are watching and what you think about the sessions we are lining up for you. So, on behalf of the Global Skill Development Council, I'm truly delighted to welcome you all into the GSDC Studio Learning and Practice Real World Learning and Development Case Studies across industries. In this webinar, you will be unlocking the secrets behind industry leading learning and development transformation by learning from real world studies which you can apply in your daily professional lives. One of the things which makes this webinar is amazing that the amazing panel of speakers we have lined up for you. So some of them have already given an incredible insightful sessions and others are all set to bring in more powerful ideas. Now, for those who are joining with us very first time, let me give you a quick introduction who we are. Global Skill Development Council is a globally recognized certification body. We are accredited by ABICB. We have 100% certification in our portfolio. Till that, we have a 250,000 professionals certified with us. We have 100% training partner associated with us. We have 500+ subject matter experts who contribute to our program. We are also associated with 1,000+ multinational companies and 50+ university worldwide. These are the training partners who are associated with us from the Africa, Canada, USA, Singapore, UK, Asia. I'm really thankful to all the training partners who are working with us, who are continuously giving their contribution into the training programs. A special thank you to our media partner, WordPress Hub, for all of our press release and to help us amplify our initiative and reach it to the wider global audience. So I wanted to make an announcement that we have just launched a very unique platform called GSDC AI Studio Lifelong Learning Initiative. In this, you will be getting the 100+ lively monthly sessions with global experts, which include 4 daily sessions, 45-minute live expert lead session for hands-on learning, session from global expert, learn directly from our AI leaders around the world, real-time practice, apply concept immediately and get your question answered, certification ready, training aligned with industry standard for job ready skills. Now how you can get the benefit of this GSTC AI Studio? Well, let me tell you. So there are three ways for this. First, you have a free 30-day access in which you will get 80+ live session per month, access to full GSTC Studio. You will be upgrading to Pro and you will be getting the access to full GSTC Studio, 80+ live session per month, lifetime access, free GSTC membership, access to physical event, LinkedIn profile improver, and all this will be into $109. And last but not the least, we have a GSTC certification lifetime membership. So this is for a very limited time of offer. Make sure you're grabbing this opportunity, and which is starting from $100. In this, you will be getting the GSTC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone projects plus AI tool, GSDC Copilot, and competency assessment tool. As I told you that currently we have a 100% certification portfolio covering in our program, which include the learning and development, SR, HR, generative AI, agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO lead auditor and implementer, project management, PMO, Agile DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and many more. With that, it's time to welcome our today's speaker. So today we have Vijay. Vijay, we are very honored to have you here. And Vijay is a CEO and executive consultant at Key Learning Global and unit of Key Learning Performance Consultant. He has a 3 decades of experience across impactful roles in the corporate and the learning sector and across multiple industries. His expertise of work and consultancy has been primarily in the field of leadership development, executive coaching, talent management, training performance, and business development. His coaching and consulting experience across across Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa with more than 15 different industries. He is the founder and principal consultant of Key Learning Performance Consultant and an industry accepted leadership and business performance consultants. Vijay brings both business and leadership role experience in his session that inspire his coaches to to imagine possibilities and achieve true potential. And before handing over the virtual mic to the Vijay, just a quick reminder, if you have any question you want to know regarding the GSDC initiative, or if you have any question to Vijay regarding this session, if you want to connect with him, please feel free to use the chat box. We'll be keeping an eye on it. In According to that, we get to know that you guys are learning from this amazing insight and absorbing this session completely. With that, it's time to hand over the virtual mic to the Vijay. Vijay, the stage is all yours. Once again, a very warm welcome and thank you for being as our speaker today.
Thank you so much, Pratibha. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor today as we spend some time together, spending an opportunity of learning where GSDC, with this amazing set of topics that they have said and spread across in the last months and years. I thank the
Vijay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're not audible completely.
Not audible? Okay. Let me see if I can. Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible now. Thank you.
Yeah, potentially maybe the mic had. We always start with the technical problem, right? And that's how it starts. Technology fails us at the right moment. I was saying that thank you so much for GSDC for giving this opportunity. To all the people on the call from across the world and from different places and from different backgrounds. It's an opportunity of collective learning. We all learn together and we are all gifts of results of our own learning that we've had. Pratibha, thank you once again for this opportunity. As we delve into the topic of today, I think it is important to realize the context in which we are living today in terms of both in terms of personal lives and in terms of professional lives. Today, unlike any other epoch in history, we are asked, are we contributing enough at the workplace? Are we contributing enough in our personal lives? I think there is a higher sense of accountability on results, and a higher sense of focus on results now more than ever. Whether it's right or wrong is a different question, isn't it? I think that's where every organization, we have more organizations in the world today than we ever had in the past. And we know that it's just keeping on growing. I live in a city called Bangalore in India, where we have possibly one of the highest density of startups. And in the road where I live and our office we have more than 30 different startups. And we can speak about the volume of new energy and new stuff coming. So where does the talent come from? And that's where the question today is and what we try to answer. Some of us sitting here in today's call are business leaders, coaches, human resource professionals, learning experts, and possibly people who are interested in the matter. The fact today is that top talent and ideal talent is what everyone is searching for. How can I get the best talent? Because people recognize and realize that the talent, if it is different, if it is better, it can probably give you an edge in a competitive world. There is possibly a big challenge in today's world because there is a lack of talent for some of the new emerging jobs. And that's where GSDC and others are focused on giving more capability in. I'm a consultant. I spend a lot of time helping people build those talent, etc. But I can tell you, there is even more scope. There's scope all the place and everywhere you go across the world. And it is today, in that context, that we look and say, how do we build the right process and the structure where we can understand where the right talent exists? Now, if I consider an organization like a pyramid, we have the apex, the top, where we have all the management and the top people sitting, and we've got the middle part, possibly where all the experts and the leaders and the subject matter experts are sitting. And possibly there is a wider bottom base where there is probably new people who sometimes might have very short tenure, might come in and lead and experiment whether this culture is good, whether this place is good. And that is where there's a big challenge. And as you grow up the ladder, you'll find that the talent is rarer and rarer. And more often than not, people have to select with talent that exists. They are not the ideal talent, but that's the best of what we have. Come on, let's take them, and that becomes a challenge. But is there a solution to it? Is there a way of handling it? In fact, there is. That is what today's our topic is going to be. It's going to be how do we use a structured approach to identify the right talent so that we can have the right succession planning in place. Because critical organizations, they don't want to leave the organization in jeopardy if the top leader leaves or if anything happens in today's world because of health reasons, because of other reasons. We know a lot of people might choose not to work. They might choose to stop working, or possibly they might move away from the scene. If that's the case, what happens to the organizational succession? And that's where the bench strength of your succession plan in any organization becomes important. So identifying the right people for the right job is hence very critical. Over the years, I've seen how these processes have changed. Earlier, people were identified by sight and by, we call it sonics and optics, how you hear about people and what you see about people. Oh, these people are good. Come, let us take them. Later, they went into assessment. People started to tell you, okay, let's do some assessments to find out who are the right people, who has more strength, skill, capability, traits. And identifying them would be a possible way of looking at it. Now, what we have today as a topic is to speak about how do we build all this into something called an assessment center and a development center. We call it ACDC, an assessment center, development center. How do we use that as a potential way of identifying talent? That is going to be what we're going to say today, isn't it? And let us spend some time on it. And this, I must tell that assessment center, development centers, ACDCs are not a new concept. It's been there for the last many years, in fact, for decades. But it is in the last few years that things have started making a change. Allow me to use the presentation to help you in learning and continuing this learning from there. Here we go. Let's move onwards and start by saying, so we're going to speak about assessment centers as a verified route to competence mapping and growth. I've used those two words, competence mapping, identifying where you are right now and where you need to go and what is the growth pattern that we need to get. These two are in place. Most of the organizations will do that. And that is where the changes and challenges in today's world have really been a big problem. With AI coming in, there's been opportunity, new potential, new hope of doing things better. There is also at the same time a feeling that some of the talent that people had in terms of functional talent might now have to be augmented, changed, edited, so that you can now be up to date with what is happening. There are people who are worried that some of my skills would go if AI comes in. But I tell you, it might be predictive, but the fact is AI really is a great tool to work with, provided you use that the right way. And I'm sure each one of you sitting here, you are looking at how you can make the best out of AI and how to make the best out of it so that the changes and challenges of today's world can be handled for tomorrow. Now, let us ask this question. How do we look at a good talent to bring them into the organization? How do we look at a good talent to possibly be promoted from a sea of people to the next level? How do we look at a good talent where we can keep them as a successor for someone for tomorrow and cook them, if I could use that word, over a period of time to make them ready for a later time? Today, we are limited because the challenge of today is we have been measuring them all on sales figures and revenue targets and observable behaviors and historical track records. 3 years, someone has been successful. Okay, he's a good talent. That's what we've been doing. That's where we need to change. And things have changed is because we have understood that we are missing few things. What are the few things we are missing? One, we are missing what is the strategic thinking capability of that person who in the new role would have to take decisions. What is the adaptability and resilience in a fast-changing world? What would be the person's future leadership potential? Today, the person is really good. Possibly he's good or she's good for a small team. But what about the team if it is large and across and diverse? How do you manage them? Possibly today he has an all single gender team or all male team. Tomorrow he has a diverse team. How do you manage it? And these are complex areas, and these complex problems require a new way of doing. And that is exactly the reason why in this rapidly evolving world, understanding and developing leadership potential is very important, and hence a holistic approach is needed. So that leadership potential gap that they're speaking can be removed. And I'm sure some of you are living that gap right now. We know in terms of leadership roles, 67% of the leadership roles, people are struggling to get the right people in. And this is not just me telling, this is data from metadata from multiple places that is telling. We know that 42% of people with high potential are actually missed while they are evaluated for potential. Someone might be good, but 42% of the real potential is missed because there's no way of tapping them. I'm sure some of you sitting here, some of you got promoted, and some of you did not get promoted because some of your potential was not assessed. And you know, and you felt it personally. The third is that the cost impact is so large. We know the average cost multiplier when leadership decisions fail is 3.5, which means that you're going to lose 3.5 times of a person's salary or the money that you pull in. If the person is wrong and you have to correct it and get back, that much of money would be lost. So you need to get it first time right. And hence, the strategic power of their assessment and development center comes in. Now a question might come, how can I do an assessment center every time, each time? No, you don't have to do that every time, each time. You need to have different practices. Some of the practices of assessment center is in recruitment. You can have a smaller practice. You can have a very detailed assessment center when it comes to promotions or succession planning, or when you're transforming talent strategy, when you're accelerating leadership positions. All this is where it comes in. And hence, the basic understanding of assessment centers would help. So allow me, I know that a lot of you sitting here know about ACDC, but allow me to give a very basic overview of what is ACDC, or Assessment Center Development Center, for people here who may not know it. And I think it is critical we take them to the same level. The first part is an assessment center, first of all, is an evidence-based approach. It is a process in which probably people are brought together. A team of people of like range, similar range people are brought together, and they are taken through a series of simulations which very closely mimic their daily day in the life of, if I can call it. And those competencies generate multiple feelings, and there are multi-dimensional scenarios. Some of you have to write down, some of you have to answer, some of you have to do certain things, and that comprehensiveness helps them build it. That is why the assessment center is the first part, followed by a development center. They're normally done as two different parts. The first part, assessment center, is, as you know, the assessment itself, where you use the simulations. For example, you might ask the person, okay, all of you sit together and do a group discussion. Here's the topic. Let me see how you're responding. Or you might say, okay, here is an analytical case study with a lot of data. Here's a computer. Here is a calculator. Here's a paper and a pen. Sit together and tell me what it means. And hence, you might check the person's analytical skills. We might check a person's other competencies. And now, how do I choose on what we are checking? That is based on the organization and the position to which the person is being assessed. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? Now, if I am a salesperson, a person who sells products to the customers, I want to become a sales manager. I know that one of the skills required is general sales understanding. Okay, I have that. But what about if I want to become a sales manager? I might now have to manage people, the other salespeople. Now, I don't have that experience yet. What do? I just know the fact that I know how to influence people. I know I've got friends that I can talk to, and I can sort of like talk to them and interact with them. But can you do that as a manager? How do you do that? So simulations are given to see how the person would work if the person had someone reporting into them. And the response of that is observed and analyzed and is taken up. And that becomes the input for a report that is said that here is where you are, here are your strengths, your capabilities, your behavior, your potential weaknesses. Sometimes we might say that here are the 4 or 5 areas where you are very good at, and 4 or 5 areas that you're not very good at, and then tell you how you can develop them and strengthen them. That part of it, of developing and strengthening, is called the development center, where there is targeted development activities, coaching and training, feedback given, and mentoring given, new opportunities given, etc. So that's how the process goes. Now, this process is normally done as a one-day event. Why it is one day? Because it takes some time. It takes 4, 5, 6 hours. And as a group of people, you normally have a group, a minimum group. I normally do it in the organization where I represent. Sometimes I do it in a particular way, and the organization might do it a different way. But on general, you've seen that around 15 people or so need to be there to see how an assessment center works. So you get your scoring, how you are, and how you are in comparison with others. So the management can see 15 of my salespeople or 15 of my people in a particular job. I can do it for doctors, I can do it for any job. They were evaluated. Here are the top 5, and here are the next, and here are the others. In fact, you can use it and say, here are the people who are ready for a promotion right now, if a minimum particular benchmark is met. Certain assessment centers will say 90% and more marks if you're getting, you're ready for promotion. I'm just making numbers as an assumption, not take the numbers as final. Each time it is different because each organization need is different. That's why you need a good vendor, a good person who understands this to work with you on assessment center. Now, the process of assessment centers starts with competency framework design. Everything, my dear friends, in an assessment center is centered on the core document of competency. What are the functional competencies? What are the behavioral competencies that are expected? If the organization has some cultural competencies, yeah, throw in that too. But definitely the functional and the roles behavioral competencies are assessed. Which role? Possibly the role that you are in right now, to find out where you are. If you're looking at a promotion or so, the role that is the next role. If I'm a salesperson, if I've come to see if I'm good to become a sales manager, my sales manager's competencies would be evaluated upon me, even though I'm not a sales manager, to see, do I have flashes of competence? Do I show? Because I know that you cannot be a sales manager right now. You're too young or too early, and hence you need some experience, yes. But do you show an inclination to it? Because that would tell us. And the experts who come for an assessment center are trained experts. Some of us have had to spend assessment center after assessment center just carrying around and helping the senior facilitators and learning and writing exams and finding out how to learn to become a good assessor. I can tell you, we can be even better because the world is changing, behaviors are changing. Millennials and Gen Z and Gen others are there, and hence there's a requirement for us to adapt. And those kind of adaptations are happening thanks to AI and other tools that are happening. The competency framework design, based on that, we create the outcomes, and then what are the simulations required? Normally the simulations, the word simulation here refers to activities that are done which stimulate or copy their daily life in the workplace to see how you are responding. So for example, we might start with a group discussion. We might have a one-to-one case study on the person's role. There might be a scenario that they have to do. There's a paper that they have to fill in terms of what they want to do next. There might be an in-basket exercise of 10 jobs coming at the same time at different times. You have to clear it within a particular time and see how your responses are. There'll be a conflict that will happen, how you'll have to manage. There'll be an interview. So all these are based on what is the outcome expected. Based on that, the assessors will know how to do that. And that is then given. Now, you'll have multiple assessors. You'll never find an assessment center with one assessor. If that's the case, then it is wrong. It is not right. The process says you need to have at least 2 assessors, because then a person and a person's opinion can both come in. Now, you can have an assessor for one simulation, but collectively for the entire group, there should be at least 2, one primary facilitator, assessor, and possibly someone helping. The reason is to have multi-rater observation. And using that, we'll go back and then find out what are the weightages. For example, if you want to become a manager, the man base or the people base, I'm using the word man in a multi-gender name, to say that the role base, in terms of process, the role base, the human base interactions, if it is more, the weightage of that would be more. If the product knowledge is more, for example, if I'm looking at a trainer of an engineering company, the engineering knowledge becomes a higher weightage because that's very important for them to do it. And hence, this becomes successful. But the question is, again, in doing it, how does it help? And there are four things to keep in mind that becomes a reason to say, yes, I'm sure that I need an ACDC. Sometimes when we go to organizations, we tell them, hey, you have a good need, but you don't need an assessment center. You just need a normal assessment. We tell them, as being part of the fraternity, it is easy for us to know where they have a need of an assessment center and where they have a need of a simple assessment, and how objective and future ready they want their course, the next action to be. That we decide based on a four-step model. The fourth step is this. One, can we do a realistic evaluation where multi-scenario assessments can be done? For example, are there people across the country, across different places? Let us say one person is in Northern Europe, another person in Southern Europe. How do we bring them together? Is it possible? Do we get them? Language, is it possible? If someone speaks Spanish, another person speaks Japanese, can we bring them together? What should be done? All those things are the first thing we do. Can we provide a realistic evaluation? And hence, can we use that to see how we can connect the competencies together by bridging them? To saying that, hey, high skill set of this means high competence in training. High communication means easier access for you to talk to someone else. So we bring those cultural connects. We try to reduce the risk by making it scientific, ensuring the right organizational details are given. You know why it is important, dear friends, to be very careful about it. I always am very worried, anxious every time I finalize the weightage. Because in the weightage process, we should not in a process miss anything that a real candidate who really was worth the job misses the opportunity. Like, as the joke says, we are not evaluating the climbing skills, tree climbing skills of a person where the skill of the person is not tree climbing but swimming. They have different skill sets. I should ensure that both are that. There is an inclusive way of doing that. And so that the organization benefits. The last one is hence, because of that, can we be precise in the outcomes so that we can tell that here's the customized learning required. If there's no precise outcome required, if it is all the same, we'll tell them don't spend the money on an assessment center. Just do a normal assessment and figure out what is to be done. Anyway, you're going to focus them on training. So the seriousness of the job is very important because you're playing with career of people. And assessment centers, my dear friends, have unparalleled predictive power. And I'm amazed at the level in which some of the assessments have come up. I've been lucky enough to be in the industry for the last more than 3 decades. And I've seen people who in assessment centers of earlier days seemed good. And people did not believe that they were good. But over a period of time, they ended up being really good. I've also seen people who were not good in assessment centers. But because of the pressure that has come from the organization, some people got promoted and they turned up bad apples in the system. And that is why these assessments are very, very important to track and build them. Now, the moment the assessment center is done, we then go and give them the report and get them into development center. That's the second one, which is cultivating a future-ready talent. We are sort of like telling, okay, this is where you are, this is where your growth potential is, and we give them personalized feedback. Mr. A will get one, Miss B will get one, Mr. C would get one, and they would all be different. It's personalized. And within that group, we try to see, can we club them together for a learning? 10 people have a need for negotiation skills. Okay, come, let us see if I can do something for those 10 people. So we propose, and using that, we propose and close the critical gaps. One of the critical gaps could be, there are people who are very capable, but they do not want to get promoted. And that's a very normal thing I see in some people. Very good at the job, they don't want to get promoted. No problem. No one is forcing anyone to get promoted. But the organization wants them to get promoted and take more responsibilities, but the individuals do not. So there we never pressurize the people. We tell them, here are the opportunities for you. If you are willing, here is what will happen. If not, this is the other way of looking at it. It's your choice. And that choice making is also something that is done during the conversation. So coaching might be done, counseling might be done, all would be part of it. Now, let us say the development center that we do also has other areas. We have spoken about this in the same slide in two different ways. Can you see that conversation happening between the two people? That picture, I wanted to show the picture. Sometimes the conversation between the assessee and the assessor can be very intense to find out, because the assessee, the participant might say, hey, I want to know more about what more can I be. I can be a manager, but can I become even better? What should I do? Where should I build? It's very important for the assessor to give feedback based on what they have seen, measured, verified, and evaluated. This cannot be a counseling session. And this is one area that I want to warn each one of you. Because I've seen a lot of places where assessment-centered counseling or coaching become counseling sessions, where they've spoken generally about a lot of things. It's very important to stick to it. It is like saying, if I have taken the blood work or a blood diagnostic report of a person and I want to take them to a doctor, the doctor will speak on that blood report, isn't it? Because that's what I need to evaluate. They will not evaluate the person based on something else. They look at the person's important factor that was evaluated. Hence, very important that you have the right people who would help you do it. That's the only way you can remove bias. The third party, the assessor, like us, like the GSDC and other people, everywhere you will find assessors. But the right assessors are the ones who will remove bias. And hence, you have the right to ask your vendor, your person, how do we remove bias? What are the things that you do? Because only when you do that, you can be objective in what you're doing. If objectivity is not there, then your expertise has no value. So the advantage of having a third party, sometimes internally the people might say, we will do an assessment of our people. If you do that, there is a potential chance of objectivity being lost. Though you may have expertise, and though you may have credibility, it is important. And it has been seen over evidence that over a period of time, a third-party advantage is there. And this bias reduction is seen also that it is said that 73% reduction in bias-driven decisions have happened when a third party has been used. I'm not trying to say that you're trying to build business here by saying that you should go for a third party. That's not the idea. I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. You should always look for people who can be objective. Even when I'm very objective with my own people that I know, there will be blind spots because I'm seeing the person for a long period of time. There can be a lot of confirmation bias, a lot of bias, halo effect that can sometimes come in. And hence it is affirmation effect. Hence it is important that we remove that. Also, whenever there has been a third party dealing, the gender balance has been maintained at a very high standard. Otherwise, sometimes people might favor one gender over the other. That can be a challenge. Also, the candidate trust can be good. So when you select a assessment center partner, ensure that you do the following things. You should know that the person has the capability, but ask the following questions. One, what is your training process? What is your assessment process? How do you ensure inter-rater reliability? How do you ensure that we can trust what you're measuring? How do you demonstrate predictive validity, that your numbers really mean something, that your weightages are correct? How do I know that? How do you handle the data of the assessment, with security, with privacy? How do you handle it? And what ongoing support you provide so that we can come back and do that? Those would help you identify. If you do that, hence the advantage is that you will focus on the core competencies that are required. I would say that future readiness, we spoke in the morning that a lot of people are there who are making changes in the organization with AI coming in, a lot of challenges that are happening, a lot of opportunities. So you will have adaptive competencies that you can build in, because these people who that you're assessing may not have had the opportunity to express these competencies in the past because they do not exist. But today you can do that, and then you can take them to an adaptive competency. An example of that would be an example how to share it as an illustration would be, if I know how to drive a car, a petrol car, a car that runs on fuel, liquid fuel, fossil fuel. If I want to check how the person works driving an electric car, what do? I make the person go and sit inside the car and say, hey, use the car, and everything will say, drive. There's no other stuff to be done. Here are the stuff. You'll know that in no time the person who's competent will drive the car. And that adaptiveness has come because the person was competent in the general way of doing things. What if the platform changes? If someone was very good riding a bicycle, and tomorrow he has to now ride a car, and there's no learning, there's no formal learning, you know that it's not possible. The person does not know. But they may know basic things like traffic rules. They may know road pedestrian respect to be given, rules to be, they may know a few things, but they may not know the experience of doing it. And that is why adaptive competencies can be done in a safe environment, in an assessment center, to find out how they're failing or winning. And then there's no risk because you have the safe zone. And hence, you can also now get ready for the digital era, be proactive in your gap closure, and finally, as you said, you align with the strategy of the organization by having the right people in. If you do this, there are 3 people in an organization that would really benefit. Can you think about who the 3 can be? 3 people in the organization can benefit. The first one is the CHRO, the Chief Human Resource Officer, or the HR person whose business is actually people. And they can drive talent strategy with confidence. Because now the people that they have in their bench strength, in their pocket, are taken because of data-driven decisions. They can enhance their workforce planning. Okay, I've got 10 people with this skill set. Let us say strategically I have 10 people who are very good, but they are not doing their job right now. I can give them a strategy project. I can enhance my workforce planning like that. I can reduce the cost. If I have people willing to do something, I can give it to them, and rather than bringing some outside and doing it, because they can build this as additional work that they do. And obviously, in doing all that, they're telling people that we have a culture of developing people, talent, and 10% of all our managers every year get promoted. Earlier were from within. Now we have 90% of them who are all from within. What a great story would that be? And that is what the HR head benefits. What does the CXO or any other business head benefit? CTO, CEO, anyone functionally? They have a greater advantage because they can have the competitive advantage through the leadership advantage of their greater pipeline. You'll know that most of the CXOs are very worried because their top talent leaves them and goes. And they don't know who to replace them with. They are very critical, high value, high impact people. So the pipeline alignment of who is there as a backup will also ensure that the overall organization builds. You can also navigate the complexity because now you have people who know the system who can now work on complex projects because they are committed to it. And you know that when you take someone to an assessment center and say, hey, you're really good, you really did a good job in the assessment center, people would say, hey, I want to do more for my organization. I want to contribute more. And that becomes great, isn't it? And hence, the data-driven decisions are better because now you are more predictable. And hence, anything that is predictable, the return of investment is also measurable, predictable. And that becomes critical. And in an era of digital transformation and constant disruption, the GSDC assessments evaluate the competencies that truly matter. And if you look at those competencies, like adaptability to ambiguity and change. And I know these are long HR-ish words that are used, but these are very critical. We cannot run away from them. They're so critical. These are the competencies of the future in an AI future that really would make it successful. One, adaptability to ambiguity and change. Second, your strategic thinking capability in complex situations. Third, your digital fluency, your ability to move from one platform to the other, the fluidity you have, the fluency you have, and the ability to adopt technology well and willingly. The fourth, how can you function cross-functionally with your capabilities with other people and get greater collaboration? And most importantly, how do you get in a world of uncertainty, how do you be resilient and not say that I'm leaving, and I can't do it? How can we be resilient? You know, there are people here in this call today who are there from multiple parts of the world. Some of you might be from a part of the world where work is very intense, but everyone is there saying, no, let's do it. So some parts of the world where work is a little soft, slow. Take your own time, no problem. Do it right, do it first time right, but do it slow. Each work area has their own pace and speed. I come from a country called India, and I'm sure there are people here from other places too. In India, we've got more talent for some roles than the positions are. So if you're not very good, you can be easily replaced. So everyone wants to be good, right? And that's where it helps. And I spoke about two people now who would benefit from ACDC. One I said CHRO, second I said CXO. And can you guess who the third one is? It is your training or your L&D professional of your organization. For an L&D professional, this is a great input. An ACDC input tells them where your people are, how they are mapped, what strength is good, which strength has to be developed. How can they can translate that feedback even better, because there are a lot of data now given to them. There's a lot of empiric data. Give me a second, please. And obviously that helps you build people together and get collaboration. You can integrate platforms and grow the organization. Because today, unlike any other time, an L&D professional, learning and development professional's job is not anymore only to train, but it is to build return of investment. And that is critical. So hence you can say you can align the talent with your business transformation by providing strategic alignment, saying that we will ensure that the right people are in the right place. At the end of the day, do you remember what I started by saying? I started by saying that every organization wants to identify the right people for the right job. And that's what ACDC does. Get the right people and get you choices for people for the right job. That builds capability. That builds the culture of the organization that becomes more resilient, more innovative, more ready to put discretionary effort. And in doing so, the readiness of the organization goes to a long level. And hence the return of investment is super. I would say it really helps. This graph that I put up here is to say, before ACDC, if there was high turnover, inconsistent quality of people and reactive developing people based on reactions. Today, with ACDC, there is very clear science that says that more than 48% profitability gain. You gain that profitability. So invest very well in your people, but that investment should go to the right people who grow. And ACDC tells you where to invest. There is a 22% productivity increase. I hope you know that every intervention, which is a learning intervention or so, increases your productivity by 5 to 10% to 15%. And that's good enough to reach a very good compatible growth in your career. But here, the productivity is 22% because it is the right people, the right job. So it is almost doubled. And hence people stay back. There's a 19% turnover reduction out of 5 people. Now only possibly 1% at least is thinking of staying back. Now, someone who wants to stay back will stay back. Someone who wants to go will go. But that choice of the person wishing to stay back because the organization is providing more will be strong if they feel that we are assessed. Yes, I failed in the assessment, but I was given a chance. I failed. Second time I failed. I was given a chance. The organization gave me a chance. I messed up. I will do it again. That will really build an organization's value. And hence, as I conclude the conversation today, that is a call to action that I would like to give each one of you. You all might be in positions of different capacities, of different learning. Embed ACDC into your process. Make the assessment center central to your people process, because it removes the possibility of bias. It increases the possibility of validity, of verification, of verified talent. It helps you with potentially the brighter people that you can work with. And hence, you know what more you need to work with the not so brighter ones. And the reason to find out why they were not brighter, you'll realize that it is not a capacity problem, but it is a capability problem. And then you realize that I thought they were not bright, but actually they never had an opportunity. How do you know that? When you realize where they are evaluated. You have measured them, you have weighed them, and you have found them to be in the right place. Or you have measured them, you have weighed them, and you have found them not less in their capability. We can differentiate. And differentiation is the best way of improving quality of people. Because people say, I'm being involved in the group of people who perform well. Yes, I know all of them are. But if a high performer gets involved in a group of people who are average performers or low performers, they would say, I don't want to be in a place where I come to negativity every day. I'd rather be in a place where I get challenged. And don't think that they will stay back here, they leave. Because every person, including you and I, we want to be in a place where our cerebral capacity is challenged, our capabilities are tickled, and our minds and hearts are inspired. And that's why it said the future belongs to organizations that invest in their people with the same rigor they invest in their business strategy. And hence ACDC is where that investment begins. So I wish you the very best in all that you do. As I conclude the conversation today, I want to challenge you to say, transform your leadership pipeline. Today, if you think that there is equality of quality in all your leaders, all of them are equally good, you have a red flag there. You need to go back and assess them and find out who is really the red flag and who is the one who is holding the true test and the true potential of the future with them. So transform your leadership pipeline, build your capacity, and I wish you the very best, and I will give it back to Pratibha for any Q&A and take it from.
Thank you so much, Vijay, for this amazing and insightful session. I'm sure our participants have learned a lot. So if you have any question from the Vijay, or if you want to ask anything regarding the session, please feel free to use the chat box. We'll be taking the questions now. Meanwhile, Vijay, would you like to give any final comments, please?
Yes, I would say that, you know, ACDC is both a mirror and a map. Tells you where you are, it also tells you where you go. And do not consider talent development as an event. Talent development is a strategy, and it requires thinking, it requires planning. And if you don't plan your future talent, someone else will. So it's important that we hold our courage around it and do it. So all the best.
Thank you so much, Vijay, for this comment, and thank you so much once again for this amazing and insightful sessions. So we have a question from Chloe. How do you get stakeholder to buy in your ACDC if it's first time implemented?
That's a great question. Chloe, I think one of the ways to do that is identify a couple of similar organizations where similar work has happened and speak about testimonials of how it has helped elsewhere. And every vendor or good consultant that you work with would actually help you with a free initial part of helping you with a deck of how to talk to your stakeholders. For example, you know, you might have a stakeholder who doesn't believe in it, but if you ask any one of the people around, they'll be happy to come and tell you similar industry, how it has happened, what has been the return of investment. Some companies, they do a free assessment and tell you where the starting point could be. And most importantly, it is to identify a business problem. And if you can link that to a talent problem, that is the easiest, because you can say, hey, tomorrow we are all moving to product number B, but we don't have anyone with the capacity of product number B. We have a sale of X right now, and we will go down if you don't learn product B. So what do we do about it? And use that as a conversation. Because any conversation on business, people would sit and listen. That would be the way to do that. In
Okay,
short, the team would
sorry,
have
go ahead.
helped you with that conversation. I'm saying the team would help you.
Okay, thank you so much for this detailed and thoughtful answer, Vijay. That was very grateful. Vikas wants to know when it comes to ACDC, some cases it's there in the organization, but when it comes to calibration, people moving out on new tech adoptions, new competency, sometimes it seems challenging. Any insight on that?
You mean to say why people might move in spite of people having a CDC, or the calibration is not done right? Because what did you mean?
He wants to know the mixture of
Right?
it regarding
Yeah,
the
I
calibration
can tell
and the
you
people
both.
moving.
Yeah, I can tell you both. If your calibration is done well, calibration means the weightage that you give according to which you rate people as ready now, ready later, never ready, ever ready, people like that. When you do that, it is important that you also communicate to those people of what the organization will do to them over a period of time and get a commitment. You cannot have a development center and keep the news inside that, we will do something. You have to communicate and make it very bold so that you have been identified as a talent. And hence that gives stuff. Now the second challenge could be sometimes people might move out because the scope of work changed. Now that scope of work change, that you should definitely look at the remap of what the new skills are. My yesterday's skill were 1, 2, 3, 4, and my today's skill is 5, 7, 6, 8. One or two are common, but others are different. You may have to do a recalibration of your assessment center, which your facilitator would be happy to come back and do without any much time, because the new product or new technology requires a new set of competencies. Like right now, every organization is going through that, who is affected by AI. And some of us help them with an assessment of finding out what is to be done. So you can do this free organizational readiness assessment. You can go to any Google or anything and type, and you'll get a lot of companies there speaking about it. And that's your choice whom you select, free. But it is best that you sit and identify where the impact is maximum in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. So because I also teach strategy, and it's very important that your strategy for the next 1 year is as strong as your strategy of your 5 years. And build that with that. Have a conversation with people who matter.
Thank you so much for this amazing answer, Vijay. I'm sure our participants have learned a lot from that. So now it's time to move on as we are running out of time, so we'll not be able to take more question. I'm really sorry to the other participant who wants to connect with Vijay and ask for the question. But I am sharing his LinkedIn ID in the chat box for your convenience so that you can connect with him directly. And if you want to ask anything more or if you need any guidance or anything like that, just please connect with Vijay and he'll be available to guide you through the system. I'm sure, Vijay, right? So
Yes.
I am sharing his LinkedIn ID into the chat box. Moving on, please allow me a minute to share my screen. So, the participant who are joining with us, if you guys feel that you guys are ready for the certification development certificate, so what you can do, you can go to our website and you can opt for the certificate, and we have a very special discount for our participant, which includes the 20% off. So, I am sharing the coupon code in the chat box for your convenience. Please make sure you're grabbing this spot because this is only for our participant who is joining with us on the webinars. Apart from that, I wanted to make an announcement that we have just launched a platform called Utility Tool. So, what the Utility Tool will help you to stand out in your job hunting journey in front of the recruiters and HRs. You can log in into Utility Tool via your LinkedIn ID and password, And by accessing your LinkedIn profile, the tool will give you like recommendation, what to change in your bio, what to change in your profile pic, and everything like that. So according to that, it will help you to stand out your profile. So I'm sharing the link for that coupon code link for utility tool as well, because we have 100% off for our participant who is joining us for the webinar. So you can use this coupon code by logging and grab this opportunity soon. Apart from that, we are also conducting some few others webinars as well, which include the ISO 42001, ISO 27001, and this is going to be conduct from 3rd November to 21st November at 9:30 a.m. CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, 8 p.m. IST. And we are also hosting AI in delivery, solving real project management challenges with Gen AI. And this is going to be at 7:30 a.m. CST, 8:30 p.m. SGT, and 6 p.m. IST. After this, I am going to host one more webinar, which is called GSDC Studio AI Implementation Series. And it is conducting from 10th November to 14th November at 10:30 a.m. CST, 12:30 a.m. SGT, 10 p.m. IST, and 11:30 a.m. EST. So I make sure I'll see you all there also. Make sure you're grabbing the spot via the registration link, which you will be finding into the GSDC website. And with that, it's time to celebrate our referral champions. So we have a top three performer, Bhanu Durgesh, EBI, and Avinash Kumar. Thank you so much for all of you. Congratulations to all of you, and keep the momentum going. You can also be part of our referral championship. So what you have to do, you have to go to our GSTC website, and you have to register. You have to, if any of your peers, colleagues, wants to join this webinar, you have to refer them the registration link according to the webinar. And once you will hit a 50 referral point, you will be able to get a free $400 gift certification voucher from us. So make sure you're grabbing this offer voucher while it lasted. And if you want to be one of our speaker for learning capsules, webinar, and postcard, please feel free to reach out to us directly. I have already shared my email ID into the chat box. I'm sharing it one more time for your convenience so that you can connect with me. And these are the website where you can connect with us on our LinkedIn group, our website, our WhatsApp community. Also, please feel free to give your session takeaways and learning outcomes on Trustpilot. I'm sharing all of this link to into the chat box for your convenience as well. Just allow me a minute. And please let us know, what you feel about the session, and what is your learning outcomes for our sessions and everything. We will be happy to know that what the webinar we are conducting and how you guys are getting the benefit from this webinar. So these are the links I have shared into the chat box. Feel free to go that, please. And yeah, with that, it's time to come to an event. So thank you so much, all of you, to joining in our webinar. Thank you so much once again, Vijay, for this amazing and insightful session. We are very honored to have you as our speaker. And to all of the participants, keep learning, keep enjoying, keep energizing, and make sure you're joining others' webinar as well and enhancing your skills through AI learning and development and ISO. I'll be hoping to see you in my next webinar also. Till then, have a good day, good night, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much once again for coming on our platform, Vijay, and giving us a very amazing and insightful session.
Thank you.